Okay, so dear Dhamma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, the neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. While you're focusing to the sound, mentally you can relax your body, relax your mind and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So, dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, we'll take a few minutes to understand how this practice can help us to cultivate our inner awareness or the mind or the consciousness. Because when it comes to meditation, there are different kinds of meditation techniques people practice. So, why we need meditation? The very reason for that, without meditation, your awareness or your recognition can go through the same kind of experience depending from the past or the future. And mostly our life, if you look very carefully, our life always built with the value regarding the future. We're trying to bring a value to our future. So that is where all these desires arise, will arise. So the meditation is a method, you bringing a value to your present moment. So without putting a value to your present moment, your future not going to become successful. So when you bring a value to your present moment, and itself, it's going to renew, rebuild with according to the necessary cause and conditions in the moment, whatever you experience. So when it comes to your human life, that is the best that you can gain. not dreaming about the future or thinking about the past and depending on that. The most valuable experience that you can have, tuning to the present moment. So why it is so difficult then? Because we have a habit, we have a pattern, go with the current. So as you know, this entire universe, it is just not only you, this entire universal planets moving in the same direction, in a certain kind of, in the same rhythm, and holding a certain gravity, each and every planet separately, but that gravity has a deeper connection with the other. That's how this universe works. And even sometimes when you get into that gravity, you can flow. You can keep the flow without any effort. It's kind of like you stealing the gravity from the planet. So our conventional life also, ordinary life also the same. With our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, we always have a gravity holding within ourselves, and at the same time, we keep moving with this all the consciousness, eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, tongue consciousness, body consciousness. That the different consciousness keep moving in the same direction. But at the same time, deeply, each and every consciousness has its own way to function. So like as example, the eye consciousness never going to bring an experience related to ear consciousness. It is different. Your ear consciousness never going to get any experience related to your nose consciousness. But still, all this consciousness deeply has the deeper connection to move towards the same direction. So that direction is bringing a result which we call awareness or the consciousness. So listen this very carefully and catch it yourself and try to absorb it. So this entire universe moving and have a kind of like a rhythm and functioning to the same kind of vibration. And your body also have the same kind of vibration, and that all your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, this create a connection with the outside world, and whatever you perceive, it creates an inner consciousness, and it has the same kind of rhythm. So from far away to this entire universe to you, this all the rhythm or the vibration or the flow, when interconnected and bring a final result, that final result is your awareness. That is the final destination of this entire universal journey. And that is another way we call enlightenment. But why, when we experience something, why we cannot attain to that enlightenment? Why we cannot get that? Because in this process, that all this, whatever happened in the outside, it has a natural rhythm to happen itself. But once it become a perception, once it touch your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, this inside your body, it filtered with something. That is your past. Once that the perception, that whatever you perceive as information that filtered with your past, what happens? The outcome you experience as consciousness is not the real consciousness. That is why you cannot experience the liberation. So another way we call it hindrance. That is what block your experience. So then, when the perception comes, if there is no hindrance inside you, that perception itself will lead you to experience the awareness or the consciousness, and that itself will liberate you. So that is another way called the direct perception. So then how you can get this hindrance out? That's why we practice meditation. So that is the very purpose of the meditation. Cleaning the hindrance. So why we need to clean the hindrance? Because we already have a pattern. We already have a method to live depending on our past and creating our future. And doing this too is not your present moment. So when we keep interfering with that, what happens? We lose the experience of the present moment. So that means you lose the ability of liberation or the nibbana when you interfering with the past and the future. So then only thing is, once you able to tune to this present moment of experience, and that will take you to some kind of understanding, experience. So then sometimes people think, oh, I know that. I can do that. I'm doing it. But mostly, the people caught up with thoughts. And they never tune to the natural rhythm or the natural way of function that's with your I object, I and I consciousness. Ear object, ear consciousness. Nose object, nose consciousness. Tongue object, tongue consciousness. Body, bodily object and bodily consciousness. They never tune to that. And we think thoughts as the self or the awareness. But thoughts not the self. It is a byproduct of the self. It is, thoughts are byproduct of your consciousness. So once you hold it to thoughts, thinking this is consciousness, you misunderstand. So what you need to understand, beyond your thoughts, there is something happens. So while thinking about the past and the future, you cannot get it. So that's why we come to a place to practice, to be in the moment. So for that, with the posture, we get some help out of our body. And once you hold it to unmovable posture, that will help you to certain level to settle down. Why? Because your body, your mind always reflect on past and the future related to your feelings and experience that you went through with this body. So even though it is not the same body now, you hold it to the feelings. So once you come to the posture and settle down with the posture, the entire feelings going to become different. It opens the deeper feelings to get into awareness. You need that in the beginning. It's kind of like a foundation. So, and then little by little, with the effort, you bring your attention to the present moment. So that's why we have to have the primary mental object. So that's why we go with the breathing. And once you tune to the breathing, deeply what is happening, the hindrances start to drop. These 5 hindrances, sensual desires, one of the things. So when the perception comes to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, what happens? The very first level, these 5 hindrances start to get it. So if you are able to not allow that 5 hindrances to get your experience and allow it to flow, allow it to happen, then what will happen? As I mentioned from the beginning, the final result of this universal function is your awareness. You're going to get that. So then you can try yourself and you can experience yourself. Can you allow, when something experience yourself, just it to be an experience? Rather than allowing your 5 hindrances to catch it. Can you experience to let flow? And try, you will experience the liberation. So when you see something, hear something, smell something, taste something, feel something, what happened? The very first level, kama chanda, sensual desires come. Sensual desires come and get that experience. And that is where you start to think about the past and the future and comparing. So we live with it, and another thing, we become a human being with that desire, with that current. That's why deeply, with the thoughts, it is very deeply rooted inside you. That with this each and every atom, that very deeply rooted inside us. So that's why, and we think, when we see, hear, smell, taste, feel, when the sensual desires come and get it, we think it is natural. Why we think it as a natural? Because we become like with it. That's why. But it is not natural. You can try. Why? Because once you have very clear mind, forget about meditation, just in ordinary life, if you determine yourself not to react to that, you can practice more and more and not to react to that sensual desire. See, then you can overcome it. And you can train your mind to not to react to sensual desire. That's mean your mind capable to stay without reacting. So then why in the very first level you allow it to happen and then you take it as a natural? Because you are not capable to see beyond it. That's why you accept it as natural. But you have to remember, when you experience something, there is a way that in the very pure consciousness of your inner being has a capability to get it without sensual desires. So sensual desires can become good or bad. So what that, can you whatever come to your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, can you just see it without taking it good or bad? And the neutral level also a certain level of funding to helping or supporting to good and bad, but forget about that for just practice point of view. Forget about neutral, because to understand it, you have to go a little bit more deeper. But at least just come to a point to see, can you experience something without good and bad? You can. So why then in the very first level you hold it to good and bad? Because you are addicted to that. That is what another way is. We have a habitual pattern to think. All what mostly, generally what you think as good and bad, it's a habit. There's nothing else. You can change it. That's what you have to understand. With your eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, you can change it. So if you can change it, you have to understand it is not the ultimate experience. But mostly, when something happened to us, when the desires arise, we think it is natural. That is what we take as natural. No, it is not the natural. It is unnatural. It is, we just train to do that. So the very natural way is the experiencing, the allowing it to function to the highest level. And the very natural way of your inner being is not to hold it to any kind of experience, just allowing to whatever you perceive to allow it to become your consciousness. That is the natural way. So living beings itself is a kind of like the samsara is a result of unnatural behavior. It is not a natural behavior. In a different way of explaining, because when you are real natural, there is no outcome going to be in you. You become very kind of like empty. You experience, but there is no bodily, verbally, mentally action going to come, create any karma. You can live like that. That's how the enlightened masters live, because they don't create any karma. But still they have the bodily, verbally, mentally actions. So then you have to think, why I get that, my bodily, when I do something, why I get a reaction? And it is the thing is this. Then if it is natural, I give you some key point for you, and you have to digest it slowly. If it is natural, my bodily action and your bodily action should be the same. That means reaction or the result should be the same. But it is not like that. So when something happens, my bodily action creates a certain kind of reaction, which we call the karma, and your bodily action creates this kind of like call it a reaction called the karma. But that two things, if it is natural, you and me should get the same karma, but it's not going to happen. We may see the same thing, and out of that, whatever we perceive, and then our bodily, verbally, mentally action, whatever we perform, bring the different kind of result. Why? Because of according to the intention. So then you have to understand, we both saw the bodily, we both saw the same thing, but when the reaction comes, when the result comes, if it is changed according to me and according to you, something happened inside our mind. then you have to catch it. Why you and me both cannot get the same result? Because once we perceive the same thing, what happens? The sanskara or the mental formations or the cankers or the hindrance hold that experience. So your hindrance and my hindrance, and my cankers and your cankers, the sanskara mental formations different. And that's why my sensual desires and your sensual desires different. But basic level, the dharma means the same mechanism. And that's why it comes to the five hindrance, that it put it that all our thoughts, even though it is different, all thoughts come out of the greed, hatred, and the delusion. And that's why still that once you catch that the mechanism, this teaching can help for you and me, for both of us to get out of it. Even though that our sensual desires difference, we go through the same mechanism. So once you know that, and you can clean it, and once you get out of it, you and me have ability to experience the same thing, and you will perform your bodily action, I will perform my bodily and verbally, mentally action, but the outcome going to become, the karma, the reaction, result going to become zero towards me and towards you. That is where you and me both become equal. So then if you and me see the same thing and experience the same, that's mean without allowing your cankers or the mental formations or the sanskara to hold it, flow, you and me both going to experience the same thing. So that is what you have to get. And then why that this happen inside us, why when something experience, why it hold us? One is sensual desire. Another one is the ill will. That also come out of our past experience. And another thing is not only past experience, we live to bring a value to our future. That is the reason this all the five hindrances govern our life. In the present in the present moment, you no need this. To be in the moment, you no need desires. So sensual desires, so then now you will understand it. It may become very clear for you. When you have desire, that means you are projecting something towards somewhere. But when you in the present moment, you no need desires. It's kind of like when you come to the balance means no effort. If you have an effort, there is no balance. So when you come to the balance, the effort become neutral. So like that, when you have no desires, you are in the present moment. So when you have the desire means you disconnect from the moment and your current go towards something. So then just physically, even you in the beginning, you can come to a point to experience physically even. Just try to physically completely settle down each and every atom in your body to this right now, right here, for this posture. And then you will see something you can tune to your body, because the body become effortless. That the physically you experience something. When the body become effortless and the energy start to become something else, because otherwise we always interfering with something physically. So that's why the practicing will help you to get in that. And the other one is the ill will. So the ill will also governed by the desires, and we want to become something. And when resistance come, and whatever happened in the past or the regarding the future, so when you are in the present moment, there is no ill will. And sloth and thought, and the very lethargic nature arises in us, very sleepy nature arises in us, because of still that we have the desires, and when the desires not appearance, that it's kind of like when you have desires, and when it not happen deeply, when you cannot reach to that, that is one thing, the laziness arises. And the failure, whatever happened, that is another reason, that because you have the desire and you didn't reach to that level, and that is one reason the laziness arises. So restlessness, your mind always busy, jumping here and there. And that also a very reason we put value on the future. We have a desire to live in the future. And the doubt, skeptical doubt regarding our own inner experience also come because comparison related to your past and your future desires. So then what you have to understand, when you experience something, when the perception happens, when you hold it to this 5 hindrance, that perception cannot perceive to its very natural process and bring the ultimate goal of awareness. It cannot reach that. It cannot flow through you to reach to consciousness or the awareness. Then once the hindrance get it, block it, the whatever you experience, inside you become something else. So then this meditation means the mechanism, you sharp your awareness, you sharp your consciousness related to inner behavior, not allowing to desires to jump, ill will to jump, sloth and thought to jump, restlessness to jump, skeptical doubt to jump and hold it. You are once little by little, your awareness becomes stronger with the moment of awareness, with the primary mental object. Then the mind going to go with that. And by the time this 5 hindrance slowly, little by little, drop down. And then what will happen? Naturally, without effort, no any more effort. When the perception happens, the perceiver, that means that the deeper, the mechanism inside will bring the recognition. That is the direct perception. Now the flow happening. So that is bring some experience to you, which we call this samadhi or tranquility state. And the perception happens and the awareness arises, no effort inside to resist it or go with it or hold it or filter it or maintain it. Why? Because desireless. And then you will, so that is the samadhi. Then you will, when that happen in you, when you come to that experience, you will see the perception change, the perceiver change. It is not the same. It's always in a journey. It's always like a current flow. It's always like a river, keep floating. So that once you're able to recognize that flow, you will see the change happening moment by moment, bring the experience to you. So then the perception change, the perceiver change, and the awareness or the consciousness change. And then ultimately you recognize there's nothing exists permanently in this experience. When you come to that, then your liberation, your ultimate destination of the Nibbana is there. So this is the method that through this practice going to develop in you. But by thinking, by dreaming, by visualizing, by hoping, by praying, you cannot get it. You can get it by practicing. Because so far you came in this journey and you became like this. Listen this and get it very carefully. You so far in this journey, in the samsaric journey, you became like this. Knowingly or unknowingly, you did some bodily, verbally, mentally actions. It's not by mistake. Even though you didn't see, you did it with the deeper intention or there was a desire. So still it happening with that current. That is what brought us here. So the meditation is a method. You go beyond the thoughts and you find that, the root level, and you see it. When you see that, it's going to over. So once it's over, from here to tomorrow, the becoming not going to happen. Your existence not going to happen. Why? Because it happened followed by the desire. So then just get into practice a little bit. And your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line. Bring your attention to your body, please. And observe head to toes yourself and say, So Pateva. Oh, may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times, please, and find the sensation. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. Just recognize the sensation. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart shine with the loving kindness and compassion. From the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Also may all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chammihi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddhang pujemi dhammang pujemi sanghang pujemi Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paripunjissami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahannotu sabba dukkha pamunchutu. Bless you.